Let me just show this to you. I have some cash. I know you don't have a lot of cash.
No, I'm broke.
I have $21, okay? So take that. I have a 20, and just kind of fold them in half for me.
Okay. So here we go.
And then I'm gonna need your wallet as well. So I have 20 and $21.
Okay.
That's all I have. I'm broke too. I'm gonna use your wallet. So have you been pickpocket before?
Yes, because I had like $1,000 in there, and now I'm
gone.
Left with nothing.
Your wife took it, I assume.
I'm married now.
Okay, so I'm gonna use your wallet, and I'm gonna use my money, so that way I'm not really stealing your money. I'm stealing my own money, but I'm gonna use your wallet, okay?
Okay.
So I want to imagine here, $21, 20 and a 1. I'm gonna place these two here in the wallet like this. There's nothing else, because it's broke. Hold your hand out.
Way to rub it in, Patrick.
Put your hand lightly on top. I want you to think of one of those bills for me. You got a 20 and we got a 1. Think of one of, don't say it out loud. Think of one, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna pretend to be a pickpocket.
All right.
I'm Asian, so people say I have super fast hand. Kung Fu power. Think of one of those for me. I'm gonna take one out. Okay, think of one. Put your hand on top, tight. You're thinking of a 1.
I was actually thinking of the 20.
Okay, so this is just a most basic way of stealing money. It's me taking something out.
Right.
A better pickpocket is the one that can take something out in exchange for something even more valuable. So I took something out, that's simple. The hardest part is for me to exchange that bill, 1 back to a 20. So you're thinking of a 20. Camera, if you just come closer, you can see a 20 and a 1, 2. Now exchange completely both sides into a 20. Open your hand, open the wallet. Inside there's one bill.
Come on.
$1.
That's so good.
Hey, g'day champion, how you doing? Welcome back to Murphy's Magic Saturday Sorcery. I'm of course Beau Creamer, and today we have an absolutely delectable episode for you today. Now before we get into today's episode, I do want to tell you about this week's giveaway. If you want a chance to win the Money Magic Bundle, all you need to do is stick around to later on in this episode, and I'll show you how to enter that very competition. Now you've just seen the handsome, and I mean the ever so handsome Patrick Kun perform his effect, Extortion Retouched. Now this is an excerpt from Patrick's second At the Table lecture, and if you want to see more on this very At the Table lecture, I'll have a link to it in the description below. Now, Extortion Retouched is a simplified version of Patrick's acclaimed 2014 release. It's an ultra clean and super visual build change that will go right into your repertoire. Now look, we ain't getting any younger, so let's jump over to the tutorial right now. Patrick, my friend, over to you.
And there's one, what was the bill one?
Oh yeah.
What is that
it's called Extortion.
Extortion.
So
good.
Last time that I was here on my first lecture, I did my build change. I think I was just teasing about the trick because the trick hasn't come out yet. But today I have a more simplified version, a version that I've done on TV. And I think you're gonna like the presentation and how it works. So
you'll be teaching a couple things that have been performed on TV.
Yes, and more refined and stuff. So, all right, so I'm sure we are familiar with the 5-to-1 transpo, and it's a really classic trick. I love it. The only problem is the bill is so small, right? Like you always fold them down to like a little quarter, and it's done in the hand. So for me, this one, I think it plays a little better because you see more of the bill. You actually see half the bill change, more visual, and also I'm using borrow item, using the wallet, so which ties into the presentation, a pickpocket, and all that stuff. Even a little better, and it allows you to allow a little bit more suspense because the bill is inside the wallet. So, they're gonna open their hands like, no way, they opened this, and we have a clip that I did online too. So maybe I'll insert that in so you can kind of see the reaction.
Yeah,
it's great. So obviously there's a gimmick bill, but this bill, if you look closely, is very thin, and I can show both sides. Okay. Essentially, what it is that it's just a more simplified version of my trick, Extortion. And this one doesn't use weight. I just use magnet, and you can see a little flap here. Okay, so basically what I do is that I take a 1, I cut in half, I take a 20, cut in half, and every time when I make gimmick bills, don't worry that you're gonna, lose your money because you're cutting the bill. I always keep the other half at home. keep them safe, because you can always just use just use a tape and just put everything back when you don't want to use it. So I use rubber cement. So anytime I want to deconstruct the bill, you can just simply peel them out, rub off the glue, and it's just like new, yeah. So as you can see here, I put them together as like a tent. So a 1 and 20, and I line them up like this. I just put rubber cement, creating this little flap.
And it's not like an extortion where you're cutting across the border. It's just
the original method is that I use the bill here, the inside you see the little border to do the flap. But the reason I come up with this method too is that I can use this with any currency now. So on a TV show that you might see, the insert clip here is that it allows you to do this with any bill. So as long as they have the same height, the width doesn't matter. Because in Thai currency, the bill is actually a little shorter. on a different denomination. So this works with any bill. So it's a much more practical method, I think. Less visual, but I think for the whole trick, I think it plays well. So as you can see here, I also have some little magnets here on the corners. So here, 1, 2, and then down.
Super thin.
And yeah, they're pretty thin. So here. And if you want to look for a good site for magnets, I would suggest going to Super Magnets.
Super magnet?
Superman magnet, super magnet, something. Just type in super magnet, it would probably come up.
Okay. Or there's, I think Shin Lim has
the very thin one. Those are great for cards. I think they're a little bit too big though, but that size is the thinnest you'll probably ever find. So, so with this method, again, I have 2 points of magnets here, 1, 2, and then just watch when I press down. It's just close, and this looks super thin. You can see even up close on camera.
Can't even see it.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
On the back, it's super clean. The front, there's a little seam where you fold the bill. Okay, so this allows you to just be able to open this up back and forth. So before we started, one thing I do too is that I trim the flap a little bit so that on the front, you can't really see it, but when I just run my finger like this, I can feel the flap and I can open it much easier. So just trim this slightly down, use X-Acto knife, trim it down, so I can just push down, get into that flap very easily. So first, obviously I like to do this with a bar wallet, and so here, a bifold wallet, okay? So this is gonna play a big part in a second. So I borrow this, take a 20 and a 1. I say, the reason I'm giving you my money is so that I can steal money and I won't go to jail, get punched by you or something. So whatever presentation you want to use. 20 and a 1. Also, one more thing. The reason I built this into a 20, so it goes from a 1 to a 20. And the reason for that is that I want this to be a 2-effect gimmick. If I don't want to do a transpo, I can take this out to pay for something, and I just change that into a 20. And then that could become a trick already. 1 going to a 20, it's impressive enough. If I do a 1 to 5, I think it's not as impressive as 1 to 20, because 20 is pretty common to pay in US. And so I suggest, just instead of building this into 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, just go to a 20.
Right.
And because
there's a big difference.
It's a big difference in the size and
Now look, I am so sorry, but you know the rules by now. I need to interrupt for just a tiny wee second, because I promised you a giveaway. But before we get into today's giveaway, we need to find out who won last episode's bundle. So who will it be this week? Whoa, hey, where did you come from, my friend? Congratulations, you're the winner of last episode's bundle. So if you could DM me on any of Murphy's socials, absolutely any of them, I'll get that prize straight out to you. Now on to this week's giveaway. If you want a chance to win the Money Magic Bundle, and if you're a gold member, you win a physical prize as well, all you need to do is comment in the comment section below, what bill would you use? Would you use a 1 and a 20 as well? Would you use a 5 and a 100? Whatever it is, let me know in the comment section below. Then on next episode of Saturday Sorcery, I'll draw a name out at random and you'll be announced on that episode. So, good luck. Now, champion, are you enjoying what you're watching right now? Because I have good news for you. In the Saturday Sorcery playlist, we have over 100 episodes, which means over 100 free tutorials. So make sure you go check out that playlist. There'll be a link in the description below. Go treat yourself to all that free magic, because you deserve it.
and
contrast and look. So you can do this to just change the bill or do this as a transpo. So you get 2 tricks out of 1 gimmick, okay? So once again, I start off with just 2 bills. I can show both sides, give one of them to them. And the move you have to do in the beginning is find the flap, open it, and open the flap like this. So right now, it become a double-sided bill. 1, 20, okay? You can do that. And if you want to, you can still open this on the inside so they can still see a 20 and a 1. Fold both of these together, and then I ask them for their wallet. Another way to do this too is just to show them like this, put them together. As I ask for a wallet, that's when you do the move. You open to the flap and you just open like this. So now I have the 1 on the bottom. So a lot of time when you do the 5 to 1 transpo, there's always a move that you have to do to turn around. Now since I'm doing half the bill, this would be really tricky to put in someone's hand without flashing the 2 1s.
Right.
So I'm using wallet to do the move for me, okay? So ask for a wallet. Bring the wallet like this. Now I take these 2. I have a 20 and a 1. I put it on the left side of the wallet. So left side on my side. These goes in. I don't push in all the way just so that I can grab them easier later on, but enough to hide the denomination of the bill. So I put them here and check out. This is the only move you have to do to reverse the bill. I close it like this. So now the 2 has been reversed.
Over, right.
Right? I ask them to hold their hand out. This also create a good image. Now for me, a lot of time I've been doing a little bit some stuff on TV appearance and game show and news and stuff. It's great way. The great way for me is I always try to picture as a still. So imagine that you take 1 screenshot of your performance and you use that as a main thumbnail for your YouTube or something.
Right.
You want a picture that has that question people. Right. So for me, having people going like this with their wallet and me just standing like this, if I take a still shot right here, it's like a little weird, like a little bit unusual and make people like want to see more.
Yeah.
So my goal for me is every trick I try to do, I always try to create an image. So you think of an image first, like a snapshot.
Right.
And then you say, okay, this would be good on TV. So imagine if I can go on TV, I get to do 2 tricks. You got to think of a trick that would be good for still. Because you don't want to be dealing cards. You want something that is a little bit unusual, a little bit more unique. Just make them question and want to see more. So for me, this is also a good image. Also play much bigger for the audience. Open their hand, do the classic presentation 1 to 20. Pick one of those for me. Doesn't matter which one they name. I reach over. Obviously, my thumb, just stick under. I'm going to take the first bill. Because the gimmick bill...
The one on top?
Yes, the one on top. Okay. Because before, when I put it in, it was on the bottom. So after I flip it, it's reversed now. So the gimmick bill is on top. I take this out. Make sure not to flash 20. So as you can see, the 20 is in the back. I take out the gimmick and I push the other one in all the way. Take out the gimmick, holding the flap right here, and show that, did you pick the 1? And they said no. Say, well, that's a good pickpocket. The more advanced one is the one that can actually exchange object back in there without you feeling it, right? So you can tie that into your pickpocket presentation, whatever you want. At this point, very simple. All you do, I use my thumb, close the bill, that allow it to change. But obviously, because of the magnet, it created a little bit of a sound, as you can hear that. So I use my finger to snap in front to cover the sound, also to just create that little bit moment of the bill change. Okay, so here, change, just like that. Another way you can do is maybe you can even take the wallet. I mean, I'd like to be hands off, but if you want, you can take the wallet like this, wave over, and now it exchanged. So many ways you can perform this. So open it. So now the magnet locks. So I can very casually handle the bill. It looks like a normal bill. At this point, I point to the wallet. All the attention goes down to their wallet. They open it, show the ones inside. Now, what's great about this presentation too is that the fact that the bill is inside the wallet, inside of their hand, it takes more time for them to take their hand off, open this, find the bill, right? If you want to do a switch, and I have done this on TV, I have another bill on my left pocket. So as you're doing that, my hand casually just relax, switch the bill in my back pocket, and by the time they finish looking at this, I can just hand the bill out. They can take a look at both, okay?
That's great. Love it.
So yeah, I mean, I like magic that can fit in the wallet. For me, you know, I was trying to think of tricks that I can fit in the wallet, and because I don't like to carry anything too bulky.
Yeah, and this is great. I love this effect. And then another thing I recommend is check out Extortion anyway, because that's a really open and really
that one looks like you just hold like this and just change. I also teach a version of doing the same trick where it looks really fair. You can still show on all sides, you know. So there's a little subtlety being taught on there. So
awesome.
So that's it. That's just a more simplified version of Extortion.
Yeah, and that's why I like your stuff, because all of it's visual, and you don't have to be 100% Asian to do it, but I like it.
Oh, look at these absolute champions. You guys are the best. It's true. I've Googled it. Now, thank you so much, Patrick. You absolute genius, handsome, and ever so awesome man. I really do appreciate it. If you want to see more of Patrick's work, please check out the links in the description below to his social media and also a plethora of his releases, including 2 of his At the Table lectures, which Extortion Retouched was a segment from. Make sure you check those out as well. You can pick up an absolutely delectable array of effects for only $9.95. Now, my best friend in the whole entire world, if you do have any questions on absolutely anything you see in today's episode, please throw them down in the comment section below. But make sure you use the hashtag question time so I can find them amongst all the competition entries. Now, you cutie patootie, it is Saturday, so go on, get out of here, go enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you on our Discord right now. We're having a Jam Trivia Games Hangouts and even more. Or on Monday for a special episode of Stumped, or on Wednesday for another What's New This Week. Now take care, my friend. See you later. Oh, bye for now. Whoa, hey, whoa, what's that? Oh, you should definitely check out that. Oh, there's so much good magic in there. You won't regret it. Hey, whoa, hey, look at this bad boy. You should definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe, then watch that. Oh, it's a good day to treat yourself.